Today in Matt's class, I'm going to teach you guys how to sharpen your charcoal pencil. And it's actually kind of important, unlike a regular pencil or color pencils that you can put into a pencil sharpener. Your charcoal pencil is going to take a little bit of TLC, but it's really going to help you get the most out of your charcoal. So you can't put a charcoal pencil in a pencil sharpener. You'll ruin the pencil sharpener and you will ruin your charcoal pencil. There's a specific way you have to sharpen it, and you begin with an X-Acto blade. So obviously you've got to be really careful. So what you need to do, ideally, we want to have about an inch of the charcoal showing, and then we want to have about an inch of the wood around the charcoal pencil to be tapering towards that charcoal. So that means about 2 inches from the tip, we want to start whittling with our X-Acto blade. Here we go. Let's see, about 2 inches, something like that. And we are whittling away. So the thing I like about sharpening the pencil when you are in the classroom, you just kind of zen out and you're just kind of doing your thing. But in the classroom, usually everyone is gathering around the trash can before class starts, and they're just hanging out, talking about, you know, the new show that they're watching on Netflix, and they're just hanging out sharpening their pencil. And the reason I like that is because when I was a young teenager, I wanted to smoke cigarettes so bad. I just thought it looked so cool, you know, the older kids were doing it, and all my favorite guitar players, they'd play guitar, they'd always have a cigarette in their mouth, just hanging out like this, and they'd totally be rocking out, and I just, as a kid, I thought that looked so cool. So I would practice playing the guitar, and I don't even know how I got cigarettes, but I would sneak them into my parents' basement, and I would light the cigarette in my mouth, and I'd have a guitar on, and I would play guitar, but then the smoke would be going in my eyes, and I couldn't handle it. So I tried smoking for so long, it just hurt my throat, it hurt my lungs, I was never able to do it. So as I got older, I was actually jealous because smokers have this bond, and they can just go outside, they can hang out in front of a building, and you know, they share cigarettes, they bum cigarettes, and even if you don't know someone, there's no social anxiety because you're both smokers and you've got this thing. A lot of times they're just hanging out and having a smoke with someone, and you can just like, hey, what's going on, man, this weather, and you have to make the face like it hurts, right? So it's just like, so man, I'll tell you, I can tell it's already getting colder at night. You know what I mean? There's no weirdness. You can hang out with anyone. I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to smoke, and I've never been able to have that bond. But sharpening your charcoal pencil around the trash bin, everyone hangs out, and it's kind of like when you're smoking. Everyone just hangs out, and they sharpen their pencils, and it's like, what's going on? How was your weekend? Oh, I know, right? Man, I'll tell you what. Now, you want to be careful because that charcoal is fragile. And this is also a 6B, so this is really soft charcoal. One wrong move, and it snaps.
How much of the charcoal gets exposed?
There should be an inch of the charcoal showing. That's exposed and naked. Want to be careful, don't snap it. You can see some of the charcoal is showing. I want to be real careful. Plus there's an adhesive that's holding the wood to the charcoal. You want to be careful to have the blade facing away from you and you're scraping away from you, not towards you. Look at that.
Oh.
So now we got to start over. So I have to make sure there is 2 inches, so I'm going to start a little bit lower. We're going to do it again. We're going to get it right.
Almost seems therapeutic.
It is, actually. I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking because you don't want it to break, but the whittling part is very therapeutic. Again, it's better to do it. I know it takes a while, but it would be better just to lightly graze it and take forever and not snap the pencil. But if you're just going like this and you're like anxious to get it done and it snaps, then you have to start all over anyway. It's getting there, it's getting there. Man, there's a crazy adhesive on here. It's a little bit chunky. It's kind of what the sandpaper is for. All right, I just got a little bit more. There's a little bit adhesive here. It's a little bit crusty. Hopefully I don't snap the charcoal. It takes a very steady hand. It's Operation, the Wacky Doctor's Game. You know, it might be that my X-Acto blade isn't very sharp. I should have put a new blade in there. So I got about 1 inch of the charcoal showing. So now we are done with the X-Acto blade and we are going to switch to the sandpaper. This is your sandpaper pad and it's just got a bunch of sheets of sandpaper on here. So ideally what we're trying to do, first of all, I want to make sure I get off all of this grit. It's just like it's the adhesive that was holding the charcoal to the wood of the pencil. I just want to get all of that off. And so you've got this little sandpaper pad and as soon as you're done using one sheet, you just tear it off and then you've got more sandpaper to use.
Now, is that specific artist sandpaper, or will any sandpaper do?
Any sandpaper will do, but what is nice about this is that it's attached to this little wooden handle, and this is only like 45 cents at the art store. It's just nice because you can hold onto it firmly, where if you're using a big sheet of sandpaper, you'll probably break the charcoal a lot easier, where this you just have a little more control. All right, so I've got all of the adhesive off there. So ideally what we're trying to do, we've got about 1 inch of the charcoal showing. What we want to do now with our sandpaper, we want to sharpen our pencil, but we want to have it coming to a point, kind of like a cathedral, but we want to have it come to a point all the way around so that it's round, but it comes up to a nice point. Not a perfect, not a teepee, not like a cone, but actually rounding into a point at the top. What I'm going to do with the sandpaper, if you notice, I'm kind of rolling my pencil as I sharpen it, but also I'm going to be sharpening like this and then kind of down like that as I roll it. That way, as it sharpens, instead of it just being a perfect teepee point, it's actually going to be rounding into a point like that. It's getting closer, you can kind of see. It's a little awkward, but now when you find those trouble spots, just bring it back to the sandpaper. If I didn't say so earlier, obviously you want to do this over a trash bin so you're not getting charcoal and little wood bits all over the place. So ideally you want to create a weapon. This should be so sharp that if you throw it ninja style like this, it goes through the eye, hits the brain, and your opponent drops. Super sharp, but it's a cathedral going into a point. That is how you sharpen your charcoal pencil. I've got one more really good tip for you. When you've got your charcoal pencil, if you just throw this in your case and if you're traveling around with it, this charcoal pencil obviously is going to break. It's going to snap sliding around in your case. So a really cool trick that you can do, you can just take a scrap piece of paper like this, and if you kind of put your charcoal pencil like this, if you roll this piece of paper around like so, and then if you put a little piece of tape on it like that, when this rolls around, this can, like, you know, you can ding this, this can bounce around in the car. This is going to keep it protected, and then the next time you come to class, you just take the tape off, you unroll it, and look at that, pristine charcoal pencil. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson for today. I'll see you in class next time. Don't be tardy. Did you enjoy class today? If so, give me a like. If there's something you'd like to see me cover in a future video, let me know what that is in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I've also got a video series called Sketchbook Challenge that helps your drawing, creativity, and fill up an awesome looking sketchbook. Plus, there are videos on You Can Draw Star Wars, Hollywood is Dead, and sneak peeks at the Aladdin 3477 motion picture trilogy. In order to not miss any new videos, hit that notification bell. Sharing is caring, and it's great to inspire your friends. Share this video on social media and your friends will share awesome art tips they find with you. If you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Matt_Busch_Instagram. I'll see you back in the classroom soon. Don't be tardy.